Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been a 2 month hiatus. Or all of us might have forgotten, but we were originally part of the debate club. So, do you have anything to say after the 2 months? Have you improved while I was gone? Has anything interesting happened? Guys, please give me some interaction.
Maybe not.
All right. So I believe we have everyone here, or are we missing like one or two people? Guys, do we miss somebody here, or do we have all of us?
I think we have full now.
All right. So everyone's here. So there will be a change in rules, okay? Not a big change, but just due to like some of our members have taken part in a competition and they got quite the result, like one win and three losses, but it's still commendable. Good job. I mean, you only have 1 day of preparation, so winning one match is kind of good. So I looked up the tournament rule. So there will be some changes in our very own rule. So firstly, POI, or point of information. This is to request. It's a request of elaboration. If the other team give out some point that you decide, unsatisfactory, you can have a POI. You can ask them to further, explain their debate. And yeah, so now you have POI, but you can only do it after they have, been presenting for more than 1 minute, and you cannot POI in their last minute. Okay, there'll be very strict time taking. Um, Also, the presentation time is extended to 5 minutes rather than our old, 3 minutes. You will still have point deduction if you go over 5 minutes. Please remember that. Is there any? Uh, there will still be, you know, in between time so that you can reorganize your your thoughts. Uh, yeah, I think that's it. That's about all the changes. So please now, rename yourself to and to let me know if you're the affirmative or the negative team. Okay, just rename yourself. Duy Khoa, Hà An, Tùng Thư, Thái An, Thiệu Bảo, Anh Khang. Please rename yourself to let me see which team are you. Duy Khoa, please rename yourself. Are you positive? Are you the affirmative or the the negative? Positive.
Thái An ơi, con đổi tên đội phía sau nữa kìa, Thái An nữa này, con đổi để anh biết anh gọi nó. Tự bảo ok rồi.
So judges, do you have any question for the new rules?
Well, I don't have any right now, so we can continue.
Thank you. All right. To signal your POI, we really want to be polite about this. Let's see. Do you guys have reaction? Can all right. Yeah. Use your reaction. Yeah, like that. Open your microphone. That would be kind of rude, but if the judges, we'll try our best to see if you have raised your hand. If the judges doesn't see it, you can open your microphone and say POI. I think it's kind of this is my personal opinion, but I don't think you should, just go straight and say POI, POI, POI. That was very annoying. I really hate that kind of people. Okay. So I guess that's it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We are missing one negative. Anh Khang, are you an observer or do you participate in this debate? Anh Khang?
Yes. Con ơi, Thái An đấy, em đang để cái từ negative ở phía đầu. Thái An, Quang, Thanh, Khắc, Dũng với Thiệu Bảo là đủ 4 bạn rồi. Có phải
Okay.
chia room không, chia phòng không? Thái An con để ngược kìa, con phải để sau đuôi, con lại để trước đầu anh đâu có nhìn được.
So, let me share my screen.
Các bạn cố gắng bật cam lên cho tự tin và cho nhìn nó có khí thế hơn, chứ các bạn tắt đi thế này khi mà nói thì rất là khó. Và người quen cả mà, các con có thể bật cam.
As per usual, 5-minute preparation starts now. I strongly advise communication with your team. Thirty seconds. Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. So, as per usual, the affirmative, please start your debate. The affirmative, first speaker of the affirmative. Where are you?
I'm here. So, my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. So, greeting, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tùng and I'm the first speaker of the affirmative team, which is our team believe that the traditional Lunar New Year should be abolished. So, here's our reason. So, firstly, it's the only long enough period of time, a chance for rest breaks, so that everyone can elevate, feel, consider, and look at what they've achieved and not achieved in the past year. But to be honest, during TED, people have to prepare and celebrate many ceremonies, and they have no time left to rest. And the particular exams of this is your parents. During TED, your parents have tons of problems to worry about. The stress of paying debt, or getting the ticket to go home also add up significantly to the pressure among TED. Secondly, road crashes are a leading cause of death in Vietnam, and in the TED, the proportion of accidents rose dramatically due to driving under influence, alcohol, and not wearing helmets. And according to my research, compared to the same period in 2022, the number of traffic accidents increased by 19 cases, which is include 12 deaths and 16 injuries, which is a higher 45%. According to a report of Ministry Public Security, during 3 days of New Year's holiday, there were 33 traffic accidents nationwide, killing 50 people and injuring 51 others. Moreover, fireworks also make a great contribution to the deaf community. Locals, especially teenagers, use fireworks to celebrate death as a tradition. However, this is being banned by the government. And the action of throwing them into roads, houses, or by accidents when using it may lead to unexpected consequences. In fact, that is the time we spend money the most. We have such great things to spend on food, drink, lucky money for relatives, and so on. So people said we can save something during TED, but to be honest, we're spending most of them in this special holiday. So with all the negative impacts that TED brings us, I strongly believe that it should be abolished and will celebrate it as the same as the other country in the world. And I rest my case.
Very nice argument. Please give us, 30 seconds so that we can start working on your score. Thank you. So that was a very excellent debate by Nguyen Tùng too. So negative, please, start your response. Do you have anything to say about this? First speaker of the negative, please step up.
Can I start now?
Well, signal me when you're ready, okay?
Okay. My debate will start in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Thanh and I am the first speaker from negative sides. Firstly, welcome to my rebuttal of the first speaker of positive side, Tùng too. You said that you twice said that like people need to spend a lot of money on Tết holiday, but like it's a habitat, so every year like people have prepared first for the Tết holiday, so like many like they can't be worried before the Tết holiday because they need to spend much money because like they have prepared first maybe for 2 or 3 seconds 2 or 3 months before and that like people cannot have the rest when have it, but I think that the best time for all people like after a year or many times that have go around like around the world to work hard working or hard study have not come home is like come to have in Tết holiday is the best time. And you said that it can like make any accidents. First of all, it's about the knowledge of people. many people like come to have a Tet holiday, but like they can't have enough knowledge, so they can maybe like make some accidents that no one wants, and like we can improve the policy to avoid accidents. You can see that like sometimes people will have like many policies than the usual to make the accident be less. Now come to my debate. Uh, I have seen nonsensical debates going on this day over whether we should abolish Tet holiday. Said Token, a Vietnamese woman living in the United Kingdom. Like I say, not essential because this should not be an issue at all. If you are Vietnamese, you separated. This cannot change. He has a point. I would say there can be no argument that Tet is the biggest and perhaps is the oldest festival in Vietnam. Bring people together to celebrate a scared, meaningful, annual event. It is an occasion when members of a family, no matter where they are and what they do to earn a living, get together and pray in front
POI.
of the
POI from the positive, affirmative.
no.
You declined their POI.
Yes.
All right, continue on. Continue on.
In front of the ancestral altar, returning home to celebrate it this year or 4 years about very Vietnamese citizens, whether they are away from home within the country or abroad. In fact, the festival draws thousands of foreign visitors looking to get an authentic feel of country. Dương Trung Quốc, a historian, says that like other countries in Asia, Vietnamese people are original rice farmers and their lives are connected closely with lunar calendar. All the important events of Vietnamese person life, the 1 month of celebrations, wedding, funerals, and death commemorations are based on lunar calendar, he said. This has been happening for thousands of years. Why should we change now? Are we to demit and undermine our own culture and identify for the sake of economic efficiency? I would say that this economic efficiency is even more of an abstract idea than the culture festival is linked to actual daily life, even the habits change of seasons, traditional festival food, and list goes on and on. So let us take the learned professor's contention that the long celebration of Tet is one of the reasons Vietnam is less developed and large behind other countries. I rest my case.
Wow. You certainly have improved a lot. Before I gone on, before we start 30 seconds, I want to ask you a few questions, okay? Who is your coach? Tyon? Like that's a lot of practice you did there, all right? Commendable.
Can you ask again?
Like who's your coach?
Like now or during the time you in Hanoi?
Both.
No one.
Even for this debate? Like
Yeah. I know my coach, but like I haven't talked with him before.
oh
Like
my. I don't know, man. That sounds like bad teamwork to me. All right, but you have done exceptionally well, okay? That was beyond my expectation, I might say. So please give me a few seconds, giving you your scores. Wowzer. Okay. Very heated. So let's continue on. Let's keep this flow going. Second speaker of the positive, please stand up.
Okay. So my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Okay. First of all, I would like to give a warm greetings to all teachers and my teammates and also the opponent's teammates. Now I would like to present my speech. First, our team agree that we should ban Said because first of all, because of the fact that it gets overcrowding every time it comes to Tate, as many people get in one place to buy things or to go home. And then it just get more risky for people when they do not have anyone around to protect them. Like kids can easily be lost and the risk of being injured and suffocated is, well, it's multiplied and it gets up on the ladder. And in places like many places like Tate, like in squares, local festival, local markets, it gets really, really crowded and packed together. So that is another risk. People have been victim of that during Tate, during other events, but mostly Tate as well. People gather together and it's hard for you to know that you lose something until the moment that everything has been done and that you have been looking up in your purse or other things. And even when if you know that you have lost it in at the moment, it could be really, really and like seriously hard for you to identify who really is the person that got your hand on the items. As well, there are many people around you and you are focused on something else. Violence is something that really triggers the governments and also the people about the alarming rate that they get during Tate. Like, even though there is a small and tiny or really small percentage, but it's usually higher than the normal rates that they get. And well, they in Tate, there are more violence, and most of them are like really harsh, really heavy, and some of them have resulted in death. And it may come from things that seems weird, as like people fighting, neighbors fighting each other on something like which tree is each other, or when should they do something, or what should they do with the firework. The family members meeting over a big amount of time, they can be fighting each other over maybe land that their parents gave them after they pass away, or well, the land that their parents sell and they get some part of it. They may fight each other because of what they get. But most of the time, which battling comes is, well, because when people, mostly because of theft, as when people see that they just see that they have missed something, they just assume that someone has stole it, and they see someone who they think is a theft. Like, it might sound racist, but people always target the people who are more like have tattoos and those are like small, but is still an adult as well. They think that those people couldn't be so well educated, so those people can get targeted when the person thinks their stuff is stole, even though they didn't do it. And a last thing is that litter. When people pack around, they can get litter and do other things which damage the environment.
as the first speaker of the opponent teams has said, that we have the tradition, but it have many disadvantages, more disadvantages than advantages, as like those that I have mentioned, and furthermore in my teammates. And thank you for your listening, and thank you.
So, second speaker of the negative, please go and give me your response.
All right, so my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Well, greetings to all the audiences, observers, and the affirmative team. I will be the second speaker of the negative team against the motion of abolishing TED holidays. Now, it is observed that the increasing rate of incidents are taking place during TED holidays. More accidents. Markets are getting overcrowded. Well, let me ask you something. Is that really unavoidable during TED? Increasing rates of accidents, road accidents, well, easy to manage. You only need to encourage people to get to places using using social traffics like buses or trams or sort of that, and you need and the government will have them the traffic system managed, reducing the number of cars going on in the roads. The increasing rates of incidents like violence and so, well, the uh, the security system will have it managed. Police will go around and check if there are any some situations which are going on without out of control, and they will solve it and get it back in peace. Well, you cannot have all of those situations taking place and
POI.
decline.
Do you accept their POI?
Decline. Now you can't just have all of those situations going on, and then you want to suspend, you want to abolish the TED holidays. Now here's my argument. TED holidays is a mixture of the national historical track and their own culture, which is formed after hundreds and thousands of years. Uh, so you can't just erase your own country's historical track, and you cannot just make your country identical to other countries, Western countries or so. You have to make them some difference, and you cannot just suspend your traditions. Cannot suspend uh, uh, your tradition. Yeah, I rest my case.
Okay. That was, well, a bit short, but well, give the judges half a minute, would you? So we can mark you both. One. All right. So now let's welcome the third speaker.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you ready? Do you want to start?
My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. So our important evidence to point out that we should abolish Lunar New Year is that it wastes time. Many people think that the New Year and the Lunar New Year should be combined into one. This helps to reduce the costs and reduce burden on people, because every year on the occasion of the Lunar New Year, family members have to shop for tape. This is a decent amount of money for each family. In addition, the traditional New Year celebration also slows down the economy, especially after the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. The word economy, and in particular Vietnam's economy, are adversely affected because of the disruption of trading activities. Goods exchange and between countries and people's income is seriously affected. Even more people become poor. Moreover, the current price of petrol, fossil fuels, and also electricity had increased significantly, making the situation of families with many financial problems even more serious. Furthermore, you guys know, like, on New Year's Day, there are many traditional customs that cost a lot of money, and even like we have to, for example, we have to prepare lucky money gifts for relatives, family, and friends. This means that people have to spend a lot of money on for Tet holiday, and our country's economy is not strong enough to spend that much money for tape. Thank you.
Another very short one. Okay. Negative, please give your response.
Okay. My speech will start at 3, 2, 1. First, you said that Lunar New Year and normal New Year celebration should be combined, but I think it shouldn't be. First, we know that Lunar New Year in Vietnam or China is the longer tradition, which being popular in every single years when people who live far their countryside have time to come home to meet their families and to have a rest after a hard work year. But we said that we don't. But when we abolish it, what happened? At that time, we don't have lucky money for kids. We don't have delicious tin cake. We don't have much time to rest. And you said that we shouldn't have a lucky money for children. But in Vietnam, maybe China, lucky money for children also bring lucky for us. Second, it's terrible when you abolish Lunar New Year because it's not just a holiday. It's indispensable thing in Vietnam or China, in their mind and in their life. For the past few years, every time the Lunar New Year celebration have rolled around, so that the Tet debate, some French people have picked up online arguing that Tet is old-fashioned and shouldn't be canceled if Vietnam want to be a modern country. But I think they don't know that they still have Christmas and we have Tet. Korea is the biggest example that they still have Lunar New Year during their development time, still until from 1950, and they never abolish it. We should respect the old traditional things like Lunar New Year. And third, the preservation of Tet is of special importance because it's the source of national unity. Before the uniting nation, it is necessary to unite families and communities. Tet is a time to link the living and the dead. The living and the God salted for sure must be conserved time, full time. And that's all.
Okay. Another half a minute. So now is our, last pairing.
Speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Oh, so okay. My name is Uyên, and I'm the last speaker of the affirmative team. So firstly, I want to do a little bit of rebuttal for your team. So you said that the overcrowding and violence is unavoidable. Oh, well, is that really unavoidable? Yes, it is. You said that we should, well, reduce using cars and use public transport instead. But wait, public transport is one thing that causes overcrowding. Imagine everyone will choose to go to take public transport, and then there will be no more tickets, no more seats, no more places for them. Well, will that be considered as overcrowded, as we have mentioned? And you said that we should respect the tradition, and it is a tradition for us, a very long-lived tradition. But Vietnamese citizens must hear this. We must choose either a rich and strong country or an intolerant preservation of traditions, watching pitfully while other countries speed ahead. They must choose either wide open economic development, trading with Europe or North America, or choose to only work with neighboring countries that also celebrate the Lunar New Year. So now to my point. We've mentioned that this is a moment where we waste a lot of money. This is a time when we have to pay up for tons of wages and spend money on a lot of other things. For example, home decorations, the peach blossom trees, apricot blossom, or taste snacks, and especially spend money on lucky money. But why especially? Children nowadays approach and understand the value of money very early. Instead of just simply meaning good wishes at the beginning of the year or having like more luckiness, the lucky money has become a difficult problem to find a solution for many people, especially in difficult times nowadays. For instance, there's this family, and Miss Chutina and her husband's annual income is only from 7 million to 9 million a year. Knowing that her family has a lot of grandchildren, she decided to spend from 10,000 to 100,000 Vietnam dong for each red pocket. Well, when she handed out the pockets of 10,000, guess what the children said? The kids started to become sad and said, how come until now you're still giving other kids 10,000 Vietnam dong for lucky money? Now, second thing we should mention here is social problems. Overflowing vehicles cause congestion and traffic accidents. And you said using public transport, but we've already mentioned that if everyone chooses to go by public transport, no seats and other stuff, it will be still counted as overcrowded. And as a tradition, we have to prepare for that holiday, which means that we have to go and buy snacks, we have to buy home decorations, and it will be overcrowding in shops. Well, other problems also rise significantly during this time, especially drinking, gambling, and speeding. The fact that people, they know it, but they don't really know how bad it will affect them, because state is the time for celebrating, and we shouldn't really pay much attention to the rules. They don't even pay much attention to the laws, and even though they know it, they still do it. And the fourth thing is problems in moving back and forth for those who are living abroad. So Tết is a traditional holiday for every Vietnamese, including those who are living abroad. And obviously, because it's a time when we should gather together and celebrate together. Well, working abroad is hard for them, and earning enough money to pay for debt and bills is already hard and demanding. Let alone returning to Vietnam and celebrating only 2 weeks of Tết. This is causing damage to both them and their families when they can't celebrate the traditional New Year and the family is absent. The fourth problem we want to mention is health problems. This is the time for people to gain weight without even knowing it. Children will be fed up by sweets and treats. Adults will be fed up by beer, wine, other dishes. As a result, they will put on weight and in some cases may suffer from obesity after this. And the last thing we want to mention is after Tết holiday, workers' productivity can't be the same as before. Well, it is clear that in governmental offices, when many people do not work seriously during the first week after Tết, many bosses leave the office at noon or at around 2 to 3 p.m. for year-end and New Year parties. Many workers who want to work serious do not have the chance to do so. They may have to wait for orders or approvals from these bosses. Such a lazy working attitude may affect the whole economy. I rest my case.
Thank you. So, yeah, let's move on to the next speaker of the negative team. Final speaker of the negative. Where are you?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Welcome to this side of the house, ladies and gentlemen. As a fourth speaker, I'll give some negative idea about the opinion that Lunar New Year should be abolished. Tết, which is as the Lunar New Year, reminds the Vietnamese who are far away from the Vietnam or their hometowns of who they are when they grew up, and by that way they can show their gratitude for their ancestors and be the child of Vietnam. Members in every family who have gone away to another country or somewhere far away from their home can make this time Tết as an occasion for them to come home together around with their family. So does Tết being banned mean banned the time for the family to be happy with each other? My second reason is children in Vietnam love Tết. Tết is the time where children receive lucky money. Lucky money plays kind of an important role in Vietnamese children. When adults give the children lucky money, that means that they are sharing their luck to people who are being given the money. So second is lucky money is very important for children because children in Vietnam don't have allowance. So by this time, children can earn money to spend for themselves, like banning children's pocket money to spend in Tết time or their allowance. I rest my case.
Awfully short, but yeah, I guess that works. You know, give us like 2 minutes to start grading, okay?
Ừ.
Hmm. So, now the panel of judges will announce their scores, both the team score and the individual score. Okay. So first speaker of the affirmative team. First speaker of the affirmative. Where are you?
Yes, I'm here.
So, you have a total of 7 over 10 points. First speaker of the negative team, Thái, I believe. You have 8. It was close. Second speaker of the affirmative, 5. Second speaker of the negative, 6. Third speaker of the affirmative, 5. Third speaker of the negative, also 5. Final speaker of the affirmative, you have the score of 8, which is tied to the first speaker of the negative. And final speaker of the negative, I'm sorry, I think you can do better, but you only got 4. So, with all of it announced, on my part, only on my part, okay, the affirmative wins with a 2-point lead. So other judges, please announce your score.
May I go last because I'm still like doing
You're still figuring it out. Miss Veronica, can you give us an insight of your opinion?
Yes. Hi, good morning, everybody. So Alex, I have to apologize. I could not download the score sheet. So the way I scored was each speaker out of 5 instead of out of 10. So my final scores for both is the affirmative was 15.5 out of 20, and then for the negative was 14 out of 20. So it kind of goes very much with what you said, Alex. Sorry, I apologize for that. I could not download it. So I tried to remember what we did the first time. But yeah, well done to the affirmative team. I think generally all of you spoke very, very well. In particular for the affirmative team. Tung Tu, my apologies for my pronunciation. Between you and Han and Mary, sure, your arguments were really, really good. They were very easy to follow. So yeah, well done to you guys. And then for the negative, my highest scores was Tyann and Thiệu Bao. I think if I say that correctly, yeah. Thiệu Bao, yours was a little bit short. Yeah, so that's that. I think you spoke quite well, but yeah, make it longer next time. I do agree with Alex. I think you can do a little bit better. And then also Khắc. I thought yours was very good, and I specifically liked the way you brought in national, cultural, and tradition. I thought that was very, very good. But other than that, well done to the affirmative team, but well done to everybody. I think you put in a lot of work and very well done.
So can you please write out your score in the chat so I can compile it later?
Okay, so 4 speakers. Let me just times it by 4. So first team, 62 out of 80. Is that correct, Alex?
No, I believe we mark it out 10, so times it by 2, I think. You should times it by 2.
Okay, you want each of them. Okay, so my first one for Tung Tu was 8 out of 10. For Kauai was 6 out of 10. For Ha'an, 8 out of 10.
Wait, how much is Thailand again, please? 8 out of 10?
Ha'an, 8 out of 10.
Hà An con nhé. Thái An là đội khác, cô đang cho theo đội mà.
Yes, sorry. All right.
And Mary, 9 out of 10. And then for the negative, Tyann, 8 out of 10. Khắc, 8 out of 10. Milo, 6 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Milo is
For Milo, 6 out of 10.
English name is Milo. Yeah, Thanh. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. And then for Thiệu Bao, 6 out of 10. So my totals, yeah.
Well, I think I missed one member of the affirmative. Do I? Oh no. That was faulty. That was faulty. Zui Hua. How much was Zui Hua again? I'm sorry. 6?
6. Yes, he don't remember all.
So the affirmative, let's see. 8, 8, 9, 6 would be 16, 25, 31 out of 40. That is almost a, it was almost a record. So the negative.
Mấy siêu nhân toán tính cho anh kìa.
Negative. Oh no. Yeah. So in Miss Veronica case, wait, what? Oh, wait. All right. So yes, well done, affirmative. In Miss Veronica case, you pretty much win with a landslide. So 3-point lead combined with me makes a 5-point lead. All right. Now let's move on to our next expert. Bao, please give your score.
Okay. So for the first speaker of the affirmative team, I give her 7.5 out of 10. The second speaker of the affirmative team, 6 out of 10.
So Z was 6 out of 10. We are very consistent on him, huh?
Yeah. Han, the third speaker, 7.5. And Mary, the fourth speaker, I give her 9 out of 10.
Wow. Wowzer.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
You know, she was
extra
having her
credit.
30 điểm con ạ.
downtime.
Mẹ cộng luôn rồi 30 điểm. Con làm cái bảng Excel nhập vào xong cái 30 điểm. 15 cộng 15 là 30. Ok.
You know, Mary was having her downtime last tournament.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
this is a return, you know.
Okay, so for the negative team, first speaker, 7 out of 10. And second speaker, Khắc, Dũng, 8 out of 10. The third speaker, 7 out of 10. And the final speaker, I also agree that he could have done better. So 6 out of 10.
So it's 7, 8, 7, 6.
Yeah.
28 điểm. 27 với là một S, một ấy phải không? Một xích phải không?
Yep.
Ok, 28.
Wow.
Overall của 3 giám khảo.
Okay, so let me also announce mine.
Hôm sau lập một cái bảng Excel nhé. Lập 3 giám khảo thì nhập điểm một cái, xong overall cái cộng một cái là ok ngay.
All right, I think I was a little too harsh. All right. But yeah, this is mine. So well done, affirmative. Well done. Give them a round of applause. So today MVP is undoubtedly Mary. Well done. You have your return after a very terrible time at the tournament. So I think we can conclude our meeting here. Thank you, everyone, and hope you have a good day. I will announce.
Mời mọi người nhá, chào mọi người nhá, chúc mọi người năm mới thật vui vẻ. Chúng ta lại cố gắng sinh hoạt đều đặn nhá.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye all.
We'll announce the score on, in the group.